Yo peeps, how's it going? So, today I've got a PSP with a little bit of an issue here. Plastic has snapped, so the cage isn't held. So basically, when you've got your disc inside, when you pop it out, usually the cage itself pops the disc forward like that, so that it'll sit there and then it makes it easier to get out. Cheap plastic, you know, as you do. But we've got a nice new one. I believe this is constructed out of Chinesium, so we'll see how long it lasts. Let's get on. So we're going to start by removing all the screws. This is a PSP 2003 edition. I didn't get my little tray ready. There you go. As you can see, I've already been in it once to diagnose a no power issue, I believe. So that's why the warranty sticker is missing. Oh, that one's tight. Tight in the sense of tighter coming out, not tight in the sense of it was done up tight. I believe, if memory serves, you basically got to take everything off to do this. But we'll find out shortly. Sometimes you can be lucky with the screens and they can just flop out like that. Ah, no, I tell you what, I think I put a new screen in this actually, looking at it. Alright, let's do some ribbon cables. The screen. There we go, that's the little button pad. This is the UMD drive, and then this one is the power for the motor on the UMD drive. And if you're installing a new UMD drive, it's always a point to note, these come pre-soldered, so you need to remove that with a bit of wick. Take off these, in fact I'll take that speaker cover back off. There we go, put that up there. We shall take off the bumpers. And there, little cover piece, and then that just comes off. This one, same. Bumpers, put them there, nick them, and then over here, this side. Lovely. So, we'll take out this, which is an antenna for the old Wi-Fi, I believe. Right, I need these. There we go. Better. Put him up there. this is the power switch. On the 2003 you can swap out the power switch, which is absolutely phenomenal for fixability. There. Give it a little wiggle, because there's a couple of clips here that it sits underneath, like so. And away you go. You can also take out the power connector, but I can't remember for sure, but I don't think you need to on this. These ones are particularly difficult because they're always tight. Best method I've found is to try and get it out a little bit like that, and then use something like flat bladed that's not going to do any damage. He says, absolutely wrecking it. There you go. He's out. Pull him out of the way a little bit. Right, what's that? Next we'll take off this frame. Yeah. So that's the bumper that's stuck down. Can't remember, but I think you can probably do it by just folding it out like that. But I tend to prefer give yourself a bit of room. Only a bit of glue holding it. You can heat it up if you wish, but easy as that. And then put that next to the screw. So you can take out, let me just think, make sure I've got everything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I might need to bump the speaker off. There we go. Put him in there. Is that it for the motherboard? Off, like so. Shall we take off the thumbstick? Now, I'm not 100% sure that you need to actually do this, I can't remember. But it doesn't matter. It's all good practice, isn't it? Yeah, I think they make it so that you've got to take out as much as possible just to change the thumbstick. Just to make it awkward, obviously. This is something to watch out for as well. On the thumbstick itself, it's got like a little... I don't even know what material this is. It's like silicone with conduit running through the centre of it. Now, the more you disturb that, the more likely you are to get stick drift when you put it back together. Just to let you know. And then that's got to slide out of that hole at the top, which is a bit annoying. Right, so this is part of the mechanism we need to see how that's the return spring for it, so it's like springs back. So basically, if I remember rightly, I'm going to pull this little piece of plastic out, move the spring back, then that releases this side where you can see the spring goes through this arm, which I believe, I'll show you on this one, hopefully you can see this, is this little hole here, is that little hole there. So the spring goes through and holds it in place like a hinge, and then on the other side we don't have a hole, and that nodule sits in here. So that's a case of just pushing it out and it sort of finds itself in the hole here. Now the last time I did one of these, I can remember it being absolutely brutal to get this off. Even when you undo all this, it just feels wrong. But you can see how we do it now once I get these bits out. Right, okay, let's get this spudger thing. Right, that's the plastic out. Oops. Oh dear. I think I've got all the screws still. Right, that's that out. Then, sorry, I lost my chain of thought then. Then we'll move this to one side. Like so. Absolute pain to get in and out, as you can probably see. Then the heat shield comes off. And now we need to basically pop out one side at a time, but you have to put quite a bit of force on, and it just doesn't feel quite right. But trust me, this is how you do it. I do remember last time I used a flathead screwdriver. Such a terrible design. I think, if memory serves, you sort of bend it a little bit if you can with your thumb and pry it at the same time. It just doesn't feel right. Oh, I think I had that out then as well. There you go. And relax. Right, so that's one out. Got the new one here, make sure that's new, yeah. So, if we just do it in reverse order, but we need to align this grid into here, like so. Sorry guys, that was the battery running out on the camera, which happens quite frequently because it's a rubbish camera, but at the minute I can't afford a new one, so I'm just having to swap the batteries every 20 minutes or so. So basically you thread the cage into the little runners at the side, and then you've sort of basically just got to do the reverse of what you've just done. So on, that's why I'm struggling so much. On these Chinese ones, they've got this thing, which is obviously for the UMD to sit on, whereas this has it built into the cage. I wonder. Yes, I did just do that. And what? Right, let's try this again. Right, that's in. The other thing with the cage is you've got to make sure that it goes in properly. Look at that, easy. So there's a trick for you. If yours comes with a shape already on the bottom, you need to take that out. Frustrating. However, we'll get there. It'll be interesting to test at the end. Right, I'll show you this tricky bit and then I'll skip the boring put together again video, because I know mine have been getting a bit long recently and I think it's probably boring people. So yeah, I will cut to finishing this part, because basically all you got to do, push it in there, line it up through there, and then basically push it in and through the hole so that it holds it, and then put the plastic holder on. So I will be back shortly. There we go guys, just put that back in and put the little plastic clip on. That took a lot less time than I expected, to be fair. It's fiddly, but if you sort of get it right the first time, you're onto a winner. It's just, oh look at that, that's lovely. Yeah. Just check that they're in all the way, because basically they, I'll show you the side of this one, they go through, but if you don't start it at the start of the channel, you can pull them out again. As you can see, I've had to change this one because it's broken near the bottom. So yeah, I will put this back together and then we'll cut to the test scene. Okay guys, here we go. So I've just finished putting it back together. I put the battery in. Let's see if it's got any power in this battery actually. It hasn't. So if we get a USB-C cable, and I get one of my new stock items. It's a USB-C to PSP. You can find them on my eBay. I'll bang the link in the description. So let's just plug her in. So you've got a little charging light. Will it turn on, or is it too dead? There we go, we're on, all back working, charging with the USB-C converting cable that I sell on my eBay. Currently got about 15 in stock, so I did have 10 and they sold pretty quick. You see, it's not quite enough to run it. So unfortunately I'll have to get the old school charger out. Right, there you go guys, I've got the old school charger out. This USB-C, I've just realised why it's not that powerful. I've got it plugged into a 1 amp charging socket, so that'll be why, rather than an actual dedicated plug. Let's give this a go. So that sits down nicely. Also, when you take it out, it pushes the disc backwards. Will it read? Because I've taken out the little oh there you go, straight away because I took the little piece out inside, but the new back cover comes with the integral piece. So it's essentially like this. Yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, all the good stuff. And if you want one of these cables, try to remember not to plug it into a 1 amp source and put it in a decent source. So yeah, catch you on the next one. Cheers.